This special Motorcycle Memories, Stories from the Road video highlights my Arizona BDR adventure. And what an adventure it was going to be. After leaving the historic town of Oatman, I headed to Flagstaff where I would meet up with fellow Marine Ken Rush. Ken had reached out to me via social media and wanted to join me on the Arizona BDR. Let's see what kind of trouble two Marines can get into on the Arizona BDR. Come join me and some friends as I try to attempt to ride all 10 BDRs in less than a year. This is going to be an adventure.
My heart is made of memories. Everywhere I go, everywhere I roam, a heart full of memories takes me home. From sweet home Alabama, along the Mississippi River to the Ohio. From the Oklahoma prairies to the Kentucky cornfields in a row. When life is too fast, you gotta take it slow on the road, because my heart is made of memories, memories of the road. My heart is made of memories, all the people who come and go. Everywhere I go, everywhere I roam, a heart full of memories takes me home. From the Colorado mountains to the hills of Tennessee, I'm singing, take me home, the country roads. When life is too fast, you gotta take it slow, because my heart is made of memories, memories of the road. My heart is made of memories, all the people who come and go. Everywhere I go, everywhere I roam, a heart full of memories takes me home.
Once I completed the Nevada BDR and left Oatman, I took Route 10, which was a really great paved, twisty road through the Black Mountains. This would take me to Highway 40, where I hit some really crazy winds. Can you tell by the angle of the bike? Well, I rode into Flagstaff and found a campsite. It really turned cold overnight. Ended up waking up to frost on the tent. Had to make my way into town to Galaxy Diner, which was a historic location, for a hot chocolate. Of course, with whipped cream. Let me introduce you to my Marine buddy, Ken.
Hi, my name is Kenneth Rush, and I ride a 2019 BMW R1250 GS Adventure, and I've owned it for about 18 months now, maybe 19 months, and I've got nearly 30,000 miles on it. I live in Dallas, Texas. That's my current residence. So far, so good. I've been riding most of my life, but I took adventure riding and BDR trail riding seriously around the end of 2015. I used to do the traditional Harley riding and Indian riding, and every time I would come out west, I would see some trail that went up a mountain or, went down into a valley somewhere, and I knew I couldn't take my $25,000 chrome painted Harley or Indian down there. So I got really interested in adventure riding, and I bought an early model 2016 Tiger 800 XCA and fitted it appropriately and hit the trails. And in 2019, I purchased a BMW. It's a definitely expression of freedom, but there's part of me, my consciousness, my existence, that just loves to explore, so I have that curious nature where I see that trail, where I see that road, or sometimes it's just a gravel path, I've even done some single track, which became difficult, but I'm here to live to tell about it. But yeah, that's just my curious nature, to find some place and to explore it. And I don't limit myself to anywhere. As long as it's a rural area, and I just get out and you see things that you almost can't explain. The grandeur of it, or the solitude of it, or the beauty of it, and pictures never do it justice. On the Arizona BDR, there's some tough spots. There's some tough part of the trails, particularly the sand, certain sandy areas, some of the talcum powder stuff that you don't see until you hit it, and depending on your speed and your balance, it's probably either going to make it or you're going to be dust to dust. But for the most part, there are some challenging points, but it's not impassable. There are certain places where it's a one-way only. You're not going back the other way, and that's either due to just erosion on the trail, or the topography of where you're at, and the type of rocks and soil that's there. But for the most part, Arizona has it all.
Boy, you're right, Ken. Arizona has it all. Black lava sand, silt, and then we found this really steep, rocky part in Section 5. And it lasted forever in this long rock garden. By the time we finished, we were ready for a rest. And when I asked Ken what he thought about that long, rocky section, his expression said it all. What else should people know, Ken, about the Arizona BDR?
There are also places, where you're in the desert and it is hot, and you need to prepare, and you need to be equipped with water and electrolytes, and keep yourself alive out there, because it can get dangerous. I have this term that I can't claim credit for, but it's those moments where I have this attitude of gratitude for it all, and I want to share it, and I do. I share it amongst my friends and family on social media, and anybody that wants to see it. I know you and I have shared a bunch of laughs and good times with riding.
Well, good times were definitely being had. Ken and I climbed up one of the observation towers that gave us a view of the south rim of the Grand Canyon. You can just see it out in the distance. As we took in the views, one of those helicopters that does tours of the Grand Canyon flew by. A few years ago, I did that with my Australian buddies Mark and Michael. Ken and I were having a great time on the BDR, and after the observation tower, we took the back way into the south rim of the Grand Canyon. What a spectacular view. After a little Marine Corps bonding, we headed back out onto the route.
That attitude of gratitude that I like to have, I like to put that outward, especially when I'm meeting other people that enjoy the same things we do. And I would also put the word passion in there. There's a real passion that I have for this kind of riding and getting out there, whether it's just by myself or riding within a group of 2 or 3, you get out there and you're sharing something, and you're sharing those moments. And there's so many wonderful moments.
One of those moments that we wouldn't forget was in Section 5, the Coconino Rim. Steep, rocky, with a big drop-off if you lost your line. Now, speaking of rocks, I had noticed that I had sliced the side of my front tire. So we slowly made our way back towards Flagstaff. I had my fingers crossed that I wouldn't blow out the front tire, since Ken and I still had quite a ways to go before we did get into Flagstaff. Luckily, I had my friend Brian from Pacific Power Sports drop ship a couple of my favorite Moto Z tires off at the local dealership. It was last minute, but the dealership got me in. I was so grateful and thankful for that.
So, got my bike in, had drop shipped the tires. Guys got me in, I really appreciate that. You service all the bikes that'll come through on the BDRs?
We'll try to help everyone we possibly can, especially travelers. Always want to take care of you guys. I mean, we got new dials, new tires, and everything like that. We'll look through the bike, make sure nothing else needs to be done.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
These guys are great supporters of riders on the BDR. I also noticed there was a couple riders in the parking lot that were also having tire issues.
All right, so what's your name?
Logan.
Logan?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Doing the Arizona BDR. What sections?
So today we're just gonna hit that Winona to Cameron, hopefully, if we can make it in time.
Yeah.
Might have to slap a little bit of the section just to make it, because run behind, because we had to switch all these tubes out, both the bikes.
Both the bikes, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. We're gonna hit up the Grand Canyon today. I've never seen it, so we'll see that today. Find a nice place to camp for sure.
What do you think of the trail so far?
So far, I've really enjoyed it. We did New Mexico. I think it's a little bit more technical, which I appreciate. But there's a lot of smooth sections too, and I would just tell anybody who wants to do it not to be scared of those expert sections, just because I think the views are worth it to go on those sections, and they're some of the best riding on the trails.
On the trail, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, wish you all the best. Stay safe. Have a great ride out there.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, sir.
Packing up, getting ready for the BDR?
Yeah, we're gonna head back out. Just did a quick inner tube change and go check out the Grand Canyon now. So,
Yeah. What's your name?
Charlie,
Charlie, where are you from?
Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth, Texas. Got a couple more days and
A
then
couple more days, and we're gonna slab it back to Bisbee
Bisbee. Yep.
and then head home.
And
So, but yeah, we try to do 1 or 2 a year.
Nice.
New Mexico, my son and I. So it's good bonding time.
Wait, that's your son?
Yeah,
Oh, father-son
Yeah.
deal. I love it.
for sure.
Awesome.
Good times.
Awesome. Well, that makes it even more special.
Yeah, man, that's cool. That's cool. So
Well, hey, all the best. Be safe.
yeah, man.
Enjoy the rest of the ride out
Sure.
there.
Yep.
Well, the next day, Ken and I were back on the Arizona BDR heading south. How about that father and son team? That was just awesome. I really enjoy meeting up with people, and I asked Ken the same question.
I always enjoyed meeting people along the way too and engaging them. Sometimes it would be another rider that would give you some information like, hey, you've got to check this out. Go up there. Oh, it's gorgeous. There's a plateau. There's a little oasis in the desert.
Now, speaking of meeting up with people,
Who's from Ohio?
We are.
You're all from Ohio.
So what's up with the Chads? You're Chad, right? So what'd you do? All of them together?
I'm doing them all back to back.
Gotcha. Like
Yeah.
in the middle of them now?
I saw you.
Yeah.
I saw that on Facebook. Yeah.
Like, how's it going, man?
What's your name?
Chad.
Chad. Is that you
Mark.
right there?
Mark?
Yeah.
Good to meet you.
Oh wow, you're gonna do that all this year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim Burke is joining you on one of the rides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me personally, I like to share with other people. You know, I share it on my Facebook and my social media, but I'm sharing it because I also want to inspire other people to kind of find that. And I don't care if they're in their 20s or in their 50s or older. Get out there and see. And there are places you can go that pretty much anybody with basic skill can go out there and enjoy. I think the Mogollon Rim where we camped out, to me, it's one of those things where you look out on it, and we had a somewhat cloudy sky when we arrived, but it cleared up real quick. And then we had a night sky that's just like, wow, the perfect timing, the serendipity of showing up there at that moment in time and getting pictures that we got.
So what do you think of Arizona BDR Section 4 so far?
I liked it. I still think that the first section, well, that part of 5 that we went on was tough.
Yeah.
But the rocky section, yeah, that was pretty challenging.
Yeah.
First gear all the way, a lot of bumps, a lot of negotiating, picking a new line at the last second. But for the most part, it was worth it. It was all worth it. All the hard work was worth it to get right.
Get to right here. I know, right?
well, Ken and I had packed up early from our $1 million campsite views. And I have to say, of all the places that I've camped at, the Mogollon Rim was the most spectacular and most memorable. Later on in the day, temperatures were in the upper 90s, and just ahead you can see the Theodore Roosevelt Lake, which was a great sight to see, because just down the road, As we crossed over the Salt River Bridge, we could see some people in the river swimming, and we thought, yeah, why not? Let's jump in. Marines love water. Now, speaking of Marines,
I don't consider myself a former Marine. I consider myself a Marine. I'm just not active. I served between 1988 and 1996. I was accepted and had orders to go to a unit called Anglico. And Anglico at the time was an airborne forward air controlling unit, which means we basically called jets in on target. I loved what I did.
Anglico can jump in. I don't know, recon's going in the water kind of slow.
I served in the original 1990-91 Desert Storm.
Nice job.
I miss it every day in some form or another.
just doing a little bit of laundry.
That's right.
Oh, that is awesome. Those bubbles coming up? What are those bubbles about?
I'll tell you what those bubbles are about. There's a reason you rode most of the way in front of me.
Those breakfast burritos.
Well, Ken and I were making our way to the end of the Arizona BDR. Next up would be a trip along the border of the United States and Mexico. First time for me to be so close to Mexico. I wanted to ask Ken what he felt about riding the BDR.
I think riding the BDR, you test your mettle. And what I mean by that is you kind of, you find out who you are. You find out what you got. That trail will never sway easy for anyone. It is what it is.
All right, so we are at the border of Mexico and the United States. Beautiful area out here. Border Patrol's come by a couple times. I keep telling him that he's an illegal, Ken's an illegal, but they don't believe me, so so he's still with me.
Yo soy de Pennsylvania.
I was gonna say a número. Señor Warner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's about it. Corona. All right, so we're almost done with Arizona. We'll see you in Bisbee.
Hello, everybody.
Being on a motorcycle, whether I'm by myself or with friends, you're still learning about you and what you want and what you do and what you can do. And all of those things are lessons that doesn't matter how old you are, you're going to learn from one way or another. Whether it's learning about yourself and learning about the person or people that you ride with, it really creates an exceptional experience on these BDRs. I've got to thank Ken for his friendship and all the experiences that we shared together. What an amazing journey. Thanks for your friendship. Semper Fi, buddy. BDR number 3 was done. Next up for me would be the New Mexico BDR.